Hello there, beautiful people, and happy day 4. We've got today and tomorrow left, and I'm so excited to share what I have planned for us today. So just in case you're tuning into this video and you have no idea what's going on, in case you've been living under the rock and you don't know what the 20K by Christmas challenge is, let me just very quickly catch you up on what's been happening. So this challenge started as an idea for our global energetic team. It's something that the entire team is currently focused on. I've also been really supporting all of my coaching clients in creating and welcoming new opportunities into their lives, their businesses. And then I had a genius idea to open it up to everyone, because why would I not? If you don't already have your accompanying playbook that goes hand in hand with this challenge, then DM me the word challenge and I will get that over to you. In case you are brand new to me and you have no idea who I am, real brief, my name is Maria. I spent the last 2 decades as a coach and as a mentor for leaders across different industries. I'm a mentor and a coach through and through. I love being in people's corner. My youngest client was 7, my oldest client was 72. At this point, I've had over 5,000 sales and coaching conversations according to my Zoom records, and I've made over 15 million in sales in the last 5 years alone. So I know a thing or two about sales, and this challenge is a sales challenge because sales is how we make money on demand, because we can be doing all the things, right? We can be doing all the inner work and all of the spiritual work, and we can have the right environment and be plugged into the right community. But unless you know how to effectively and authentically and powerfully enroll people into what you do out in the world, not much is going to shift. And so I see sales conversations as some of the most transformative conversations. And I wanted to put it in challenge form so that you can give yourself the experience of what it's like to be able to create and attract aligned opportunities instead of just waiting for them. The reality is that there is no shortage of opportunity. There is no shortage of people. There is no shortage of money out in the world. It really boils down to our individual understanding of how does the equation work? How do you take an idea, take a desire, take a vision that you have, and you turn that into the tangible thing that you can smell, taste, touch, interact, count, see in your bank account, all of that good stuff. And so if you've been participating in the challenge, I don't know if you realized, but the challenge in and of itself has nothing really to do with money. Sure, it has everything to do with money because we're here to make new money without adding shit ton of work to your plate. But at the same time, it has everything to do with your individual capacity to receive. And day 1 was all about cultivating certainty. How, if you're gonna set out on this mission to generate 20K by Christmas in new money. And by new money, I mean, this is not money already on the books. Like, this is brand new resources that you're going to be welcoming into your life. If you set out on a journey to do that for yourself and for your loved ones and for all that it's going to mean and provide for you during the holiday season, then you want to first and foremost have unshakable belief that it's not only possible for you, but that it's pretty much inevitable for you. Because emotional conviction is one of those secret, not so secret ingredients that actually rearranges the entire universe to conspire in our favor. Because if you are all over the place, if your energy is wobbly, if you have internal conflict and turmoil, then naturally that's going to be reflected in your external reality. So to be able to first and foremost have unshakable belief and emotional conviction in your desired outcome is key, which is what day 1 was all about. If you missed it, the replay is there, the playbook is there, just DM me challenge and I'll get that over to you. Then once you have the foundation of belief, once you have the foundation of certainty, then we want to go into understanding what will make us magnetic. So let's say you have conviction, then you want to become the magnet. You want the right people, the right opportunities, the right invitations, the right conversations to find their way to you. And you gotta be able to attract that. So this is where we we explored the energetics of magnetic sales and reframing sales as service and seeing what is required on our end for sales conversations and enrollment conversations to be a natural extension of who we are. It's not this thing that we have to like work really hard on. It just kind of rolls off our tongue and allows us to be of service to the people that we are uniquely meant and uniquely qualified to support. And we do that by mastering the energetics of magnetic sales, which is what day 2 is all about. You want to make yourself energetically available, because mentally you can have all kinds of desires you want, but if energetically you're not available for that, it does not matter what action you take, you're going to be chasing your own tail, because we will never overcompensate with action for that which we're not doing energetically. Your energy is your attraction point. And so we want to make sure that energetically we are available to receive and we are available to welcome newness to come to us. And then yesterday we began to get practical. We talked at length about the fact that money, it doesn't come from thin air, because oftentimes this is my issue with like manifestation challenges. You like journal, you visualize, you sit there and you just kind of like hope that coins and dollars start dropping out the sky. Money doesn't come from thin air. Money comes from other people. Money comes to us through other people. And so if we want to make more and welcome more abundance into our lives, then what that means is we have to serve more people, and we have to serve people better, and we need an actual offer that we can exchange. We need an offer that is of value, that is high impact, that is something that they need, they want, they're looking for. And we talked a lot about the different kinds of offers and what makes an offer sell itself, because there's so many amazing offers out there, and there's so many amazing people doing all kinds of amazing things, and yet they struggle making sales. Sales is still like a sticky part. They work really hard and the money is still inconsistent, you name it, right? And so that's really what we unpacked yesterday. What is your actual offer that you can double down on in this season in order to ensure that you hit your money goal? Whether you set your money goal as 20K by Christmas, which in the context of this challenge, that's the goal, or you have a higher goal, the number truthfully is irrelevant, the principles still apply. And so we started that practical conversation. And again, if you did not give yourself the gift of going through the worksheets and the exercises in the playbook, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do that. Today is going to be a really, really fun one, because here's the thing. We've already agreed, and please let me know in the comments if you are seeing what I'm seeing, if you are picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Money comes from other people. It doesn't come from this like elusive space called nowhere. No, we all exchange resources. We exchange energy. And when we understand who we are, what we do in the world, and what the impact of that work is, and we begin to show up in accordance with that, then people will want to say thank you with money. They will want to say thank you with their resource of money. That's how the exchange happens. That's how the circulation of energy happens. And money, right? Money can't flow to you if people can't find you. If people don't know you exist, money can't flow to you. And money can't stay if you make it hard for people to work with you, if you make it hard for people to pay you. So we want to radically simplify the flow and the possibilities of flow inside of your life and inside of your business. What this is going to look like, right, is money pathways. We want to have a conversation of your money pathways. What pathways do you have or don't have in order for new people, new opportunities, new resources to flow into your life. Because what oftentimes happens whenever people set monetary goals, they're like, okay, I want to hit this figure. And again, let's say in the context of this challenge, it's $20,000 by Christmas. Your number might be your number. But then they either just set the goal and then they sort of wait for magic to happen, or they set the goal and then they start chasing it. They become obsessed to the point that that's all they think about, that that's all they care about. And then they begin to show up with this energy of a chase. And I want you for a second to imagine if money, the resource of money, the energy of money was a person. Just like personify money for me for a second and imagine what's going to happen if you start chasing the person whose name is money. The person is going to run away from you, right? Naturally is going to run away from you. And so we want to understand that yes, it's a money-based, sales-based challenge that we are in, but you don't want to be passive to the degree where you just sort of close your eyes and cross your fingers and wish and hope and pray that money automatically appears in your life, nor do you want to get so obsessive and so needy about it that you completely repel and scare away all these magical opportunities that are literally so close right here that you could lick them. That's how close they are. But we want to understand, right, that it's not about sitting back and waiting. It's not about chasing, but it's about becoming available yet again and mastering the state of receivership to such a degree that a circulation of energy and a circulation of resources can happen inside of your life. And so today's conversation is really going to be about that. How do you create very simple money pathways so that the resource of money can come into your life? You want to strategically, well, first, energetically, you want to understand your different pathways, and then practically, aka strategically, you want to understand the different pathways that money could flow into your life. Because here's the thing about the resource of money. A lot of people have all kinds of emotions around it. Alongside politics and religion and sex, money is probably one of the most emotionally charged topics for people. And oftentimes there can be all kinds of stories and narratives and experiences around the resource of money. And yesterday we talked about how oftentimes we forget that money in and of itself is just a mirror. And we are the ones who project our fears, our wounds, our insecurities, our doubts, our fears, our lack, our scarcity onto the resource of money. And then money is just reflecting back to us the quality of our own internal landscape. And so we want to make sure that energetically our internal landscape is in alignment for money to come to us. And practically, strategically, we want to make sure that our business is actually equipped to welcome new money to come into our life. Because if your sales flow is inconsistent, and it does not matter what you sell, whether you sell coaching or services, or you are an affiliate and you partner with a certain product or a certain brand, whether you are a contractor of some sorts, a real estate agent, it does not matter what you sell. If your sales flow is inconsistent, if your sales flow is stagnant, it's just like stagnant. If it's unpredictable, meaning you have no idea where your next sale is going to come from, you have no idea if it's going to happen today, tomorrow, or 3 months from now, it usually means one of the following things. First, you have a visibility gap, meaning people can't find you. They don't know you exist. They don't know what you offer. They don't know how you could help them. And so there is a gap in visibility. That's the first thing. The second thing is you might have a clarity gap, meaning people are confused. Like they don't very clearly understand what it is that you do. And maybe you are confused, not just your people, you yourself are confused. And so you need 20, 30, 40 minutes to explain what it is you do out in the world. And if they don't get it in 10 seconds, game over. That's how fast the world moves today. And so if you are asking people to consume extra mental calories to work through the mess that is your message, the probability of them wanting to pay you right away is slim, right? So you might have a clarity gap, and we talked a lot about that yesterday. So if you missed day 3, part 3, go catch up on it. You might have a leadership gap. What do I mean by that? If your sales are inconsistent, stagnant, unpredictable, maybe, just maybe, you are not inviting people enough. There's a whole segment of people out in the world that they just don't make the ask. They never make the ask. They never invite. They never ask people to take action. They just wish, hope, pray that people are going to figure out how to work with them. And so you might have a leadership gap. You don't know how to lead people to the next right step, right? And then the fourth one is you might have a conversion gap. So what is a conversion gap? You might have a lot of people that you talk to, and you might have even a lot of people that are interested in what you do, but they don't convert. Right? So they don't say yes. And so maybe you're getting a lot of objections. Maybe you keep getting, oh, not right now. Maybe people say, oh yeah, I would love to, but insert excuse, whatever it is. If you have a conversion gap and you have a lot of interest and you have a lot of people, they're just not saying yes to you, it can be a combination of different things of what's actually going on. Maybe you have a offer audience mismatch, like what you do doesn't match these people, and vice versa. So there is that initial disconnect. It might be that you are unclear on how to energetically direct the conversation and how to facilitate a sales conversation. It might also be because you have some internal stuff that keeps getting in the way. And the easiest way to identify if you have any internal resistance and internal friction that's messing up your sales flow is to pay attention to your patterns. So if you have certain patterns, and a pattern is anything that happens 3 times or more, right? If it has happened to you or for you 3 times or more in a row, that's a pattern. So you want to go, okay, let me take a look at my patterns and let me see where do I have resistance, frictions, fear around that particular thing. To recap, it's either visibility gap, clarity gap, leadership gap, conversion gap. Right? So let's begin to address that more and more. I want to radically simplify things for you guys, and it's kind of like my superpower, if I may say so myself, to take really complicated ideas and to simplify them to such a degree where you can very clearly see how things work and you begin to work them to your benefit, to your advantage. So let's zoom all the way out. We've established and we've agreed today that money does not come from thin air. It does not come from this elusive space called the unknown. Money always comes from other people or institutions, right? But in the context of business, obviously money comes from our clients, money comes from our partners, money comes from our customers. And so then if your desire is to make more money, to welcome more money, to put yourself in the position of a feel-good exchange, because the only kind of money we are available here is feel-good money. Don't come to me with that shady shit, okay? We want to be in a place of feel-good money. And so if you were to zoom all the way out and take a bird's eye view, we said money comes from other people. So if I want more money to come to me, I have 2 options. Number 1, I need more people. I need more of the right people that want what I have so that they can say thank you with money. That's first. The second is you can increase the quality, the value, and the worth of whatever it is that you exchange so that the amount of money that they give you and the amount of money that you receive is higher. So instead of $100, you make $1,000. Instead of $1,000, you make $10,000. Instead of $10,000, you make $100,000, right? So those are really your 2 options. Now, for most people, you want to put yourself in the position and you want to put your business in the position so that new people are continuously coming into your world. And there are only 5 channels. There are only 5 places that new people come into your world. I'm going to walk you through those 5 channels. Once I walk you through them, you'll be like, oh, that's kind of obvious. And I'm telling you, it is simple. It's just more often than not, we're so close to it, we can't see it clearly. And I want to demystify and uncomplicate your business. The first channel is organic attraction marketing. This device that you're currently on, whether you're watching me on your phone or on your computer, it is literally a window into an infinite sea of possibilities. It's literally your window into 8 billion people. And so we want to recognize the power of A, technology, B, this free tool called social media. So you can create organic content that attracts people to come to you. And it's free, y'all. So I always tell people, if you have any sort of drama around leveraging social media, I need you to call me so I can talk some sense into you, because you're literally sitting on a gold mine. And if you're using social media to aimlessly scroll and consume other people's lives instead of using it as a sales tool that it is, then also call me so I can talk some sense into you, okay? But organic attraction marketing is how we can attract people to us. Whether you do that through your posts or your reels or your carousels, I don't care. Most likely you will have to experiment a whole bunch of things in order to figure out your format, your style, your flow. But you do want to recognize that every time you go on social media to consume content instead of be of service to others, you're paying money. I always say to people, it's like, you've got a problem scrolling. Just imagine that every post, every reel, every ad you see costs you $100. Just imagine that, and imagine how much money you just wasted. So you want to reframe your relationship with social media and the free tool of social media. So instead of wasting money and wasting attention and wasting focus, you actually use it to find the right people and for the right people to find you. The second channel is the channel of paid attraction marketing, right? So this is same idea. You create content, but instead of just putting it out and then praying to the algorithm gods that the right people find you, you can put some money behind it. You can pay Meta or TikTok or Google to take your content and to put it in front of other people. So this is paid attraction marketing. If you are new to paid attraction marketing and you don't want to waste a lot of money, which please don't, because if you have no idea what you're doing, it's very easy to just blow through cash in trying to figure out ads, unless you get real lucky in first go. But the easiest way for you to use paid marketing is to take your best performing pieces of content that did well organically, and then just put a couple dollars a day behind each of them. Boost them. Boost that content so that you can get a wider reach. Now, side note, if you're going to be boosting your content, do not do that on your phone. Apple is going to charge you an extra percentage, and I'm not sure you want to be doing that. So if you're going to be boosting your posts, do it through the Facebook Ads Manager. That's the second channel. The third channel, how people can find you and people can come to you, is through partnerships. Partnership traffic is one of the most underutilized sources of traffic, if you ask me. So what does that mean? Collaborations, podcasts, giveaways, events, where essentially you are leveraging other people's audiences and other people's credibility, and you, by either a collaboration of some sorts, a value share of some sorts, you serve their audience, and then the portion of that audience is going to come over to your camp. So this is all kinds of things: going live with people, interviewing people, collaborating with people, doing giveaways with other people, but essentially cross-pollinating and swapping audiences. Number 4, another really good one that we've all, not all, I shouldn't generalize, a lot of us have become really lazy with. This is the good old offline networking. This is where you actually get yourself out of your house and from behind the screen, and you take yourself places. You take yourself to events, you take yourself to conferences, you take yourself to different conventions, and you actually meet people in real life. The easiest, the fastest, the most fulfilling money I've ever made was as a result of live events. Going to live events, meeting people, and then inviting them to work with me. Why does that work so well? Because you meet each other in person. There is no substitute to in-person connection, where you actually in the presence of the person. On social media, people can say all kinds of things. They can show all kinds of things. They can pretend to be all kinds of things, but you can't really dismiss your resonance and your bullshit detector when you're in person with someone. You instantly know right away if they're your kind of person or not, right? So live events is a fantastic way for you to grow your network, to find people that want what you have, and to then work with them. And then the last one is perhaps one of the most proactive ones, but also a lot more uncomfortable for a lot of people. And the last channel is the channel of direct outreach, of prospecting. This is where you go and you reach out to people and you initiate the conversation. So this is you starting conversations. A lot of people don't like that because we all would much rather have people come to us. Of course. Of course, we all would much rather have people come to us, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And we can't forget that you can always prospect, you can always reach out, you can always do what's called cold outreach and build real relationships with people. So if you look at those 5 channels, we've got organic attraction marketing, paid attraction marketing, partnerships, offline networking, and prospecting, right? Whichever way you look, it always is going to boil down to those 5 things. Now, a quick word of warning. The idea here is not for you to try to do them all. The idea here is for you to be really, really intentional in what makes sense for your personality, what makes sense for your current lifestyle, and what makes sense for you in this season. For example, if you have to make money by all means necessary, you better, and I'm lovingly calling you out, but you better not be too entitled to reach out to people, okay? Reach out to people. Stop hiding behind the screen. Stop hiding behind the pages and behind the automations. Talk to people. Call people, message people, connect with people, find people. There is no shortage of people. The only question is, are you willing to get uncomfortable enough to do what you need to do to find your people? Instead of just waiting for people to come to you, it's always a yes and conversation, right? So you want to pick 2 to 3. 2 is good, 3 is better, but obviously you are your own boss. You know what's going to work for you best. So please use your own discernment. But again, the idea is not to try to do all of those things, right? But to do a few of those things really, really well and test and experiment. A couple of questions, and let's do them rapid fire style. Okay, I'm going to ask the question. Just pay attention what happens for you internally. Whatever the first answer is going to come to you is the right answer. If these channels that I just walked you through, if they're not flowing, there is resistance somewhere, there's friction somewhere. The moment you remove resistance, the moment you clear the friction, energy flows. And if the energy is not flowing right now, that means there is kinks in the hose, right? Stuff is not flowing. So I've got a couple of questions for you to see. Where are you unknowingly blocking the flow? Whatever first comes to you, where are you unknowingly blocking the flow? You're not doing it on purpose, but where are you unknowingly blocking your flow? That's the first question. Second question, where are you perhaps, just maybe, hiding behind perfectionism? Where are you hiding behind perfectionism? And then the third question is, where are you avoiding visibility because you think you're not ready? Where are you avoiding visibility because you don't think you're ready? Just sit with those questions. Whatever answers come to you are usually the first intuitive answer. In the moment answer is the right answer. And all of that is just meant to show you and just shine the light on where the energy is not flowing. Because money is energy and energy flows. It never sits stagnant. It likes to flow. That's why we circulate resources. They come and they go. They come and they go. They come and they go. Come over here, redirect over there. Welcome from over here, redirect over there. Welcome from there, invest over here, right? And so we want to work with the natural flow. Now, you've got the 5 channels, right, through which people can come to you or through which you can go to people. And you pick a few, you're like, okay, I've got my channels. Because remember, the conversation today is, what are the money pathways? What are your money pathways through which money can come to you? You want to see the path. You want to make those paths available. Then you have the channels where people can start coming to you, right? Now people are coming to you. Amazing. Now what? People are coming to you. You've got people. What do you do now? It's really important for you to understand the three main stages of every sales process. There's three stages that every sales process goes through. Again, I'm oversimplifying it so that there are no excuses. I want to eliminate your excuses. I want to eliminate your confusion. And I want you to give yourself permission to let your business be simple, because simplicity is what's actually going to scale. Complexity is going to fail. So the moment it gets complicated, just know you're in your own way. The moment you are confused, you're in your own way. The moment shit's not flowing, you're in your own way. So your sales process goes through the following three stages: connection, conversation, conversion. Obvious, right? Connection, conversation, conversion. We all want conversions. We want money in the bank. We want sales to be happening. We want checks in the mail. We want conversions, commissions, cash. That's what we all want. But that's the final stage. That's the last stage. What precedes the conversion is the conversation, and what precedes the conversation is the connection. So let's walk through the stages so that first you see A, how natural they are, B, so that you don't unintentionally try to skip the stages. Because every time we try to skip the stage, we usually take 2 steps backwards. Connection is the initial connection. Hey, do I like you? Do I trust you? Are you kind of like my vibe? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know, right? Like that initial connection, that initial resonance is crucial. Because we said it like a million times, right? People buy from people. Money comes from people. And it is very unlikely that if people don't like you, if they don't trust you, that they all of a sudden will want to give you their money. They gotta like you. They gotta resonate with you. They gotta want to conspire with you and do stuff with you, right? There has to be that natural like, oh yeah, okay, here, right? And your job as a leader is to be findable so that people can actually find you and they can know you exist, and feelable. Give them an opportunity to feel you. For example, those of you hanging out with me live on this live stream, I'm pretty sure you can feel me. Right? Why? Because I'm talking. It's my energy, my emotion is coming through, my commitment is coming through. Versus imagine if we weren't having this interaction, if I were just hiding behind stuff that does not let you feel me, right? So if you want to be findable and you want to be feelable. So this is all your stuff like content, ads, partnerships, networking, conversations, you name it. Anything that helps you connect with people. Then once the initial connection happens, you want to have a conversation so that the initial curiosity and that initial connection can actually turn into clarity. Who are you? Here's who I am. What do you need? Here's what I have. How can I help you? Here's how I can help you. I would like that. Oh, but I don't need it, but I know someone who might want it, right? Like you're actually taking it a step further and you are clarifying, right? And so this is where you just want to talk to people. I'm baffled by how many people avoid talking to people. Just get on a call, have a conversation, talk to people. Share what you are working on, share what you are looking for, share how you could support them, and stop waiting for opportunities. Make them, create the opportunities, because sometimes we overcomplicate things so much that we don't realize that literally your next client, your next sale is one message away, is one phone call away, is one piece of content away, right? And it might be your next piece of content and your next message, or it might be 10th from here on out. And so a message probably won't make a difference, but another one will. So I always say, another one. You never know. People are always watching. So your conversations, that's your DM conversations, that's your discovery calls, clarity calls, that's any sort of engagement with your audience through live streams, through question polls, through like actual dedicated sales conversations, masterclasses, webinars, you name it. And then, only then, is there a possibility of a conversion? Because clarity will always come before commitments. They need to know clearly and understand clearly what they're buying into before they can actually commit. And so you want to know that there is alignment, there is synergy, and you want to, on your end, make sure that you have everything in place for money to actually come to you. You want to make sure that your pathways are set up in a way where you can expect money to come to you, right? So this is everything we've been discussing and exploring in this challenge so far. From your emotional conviction to your energy around sales and being energetically available. This is to you having self-selling offers, right? Having offers that sell themselves. And this is you now creating pathways through which people can reach out, ask questions, and actually decide to work with you. Because every sale you've ever made, and every single sale you will ever make followed the same flow. First, they found you one way or another. They found you, then they felt you, then they understood and trusted you enough to buy from you. It is always that flow. It is a natural flow of every relationship. And so you want to always remember, I've got my channels through which people find me. Now I need the energy to flow freely and consistently through those channels by understanding connection, conversation, conversion. Connection, conversation, conversion. Connection, conversation, conversion. If you create a lot of content, it's content, conversation, conversion. Content that's meant to create the connection, conversation, conversion, right? So now, all of that is to say that you have everything you need to create your money pathways in this challenge. Whether your goal is 20K, 50K, 100K, 2K, it does not matter. You have everything you need. Day one gave you belief and unshakable certainty in the outcome. Day two gave you energy, that calm, confident, magnetic energy that attracts sales, that makes selling feel natural. Day three gave you structure, like what are you offering? What are you exchanging? And then today we mapped out your pathways. So money needs a job. Money likes direction. Money likes clarity. And money likes speed. So here is your homework, and this is in your playbook. If you don't have a playbook that goes hand in hand with this challenge, please DM me the word challenge so I could get the playbook to you. It is literally going to be yours. You can keep it forever, okay? But here is your homework. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, and it's in your playbook. You can find it. Step one, you want to define your goal. What is your actual number? What is the number that you are going after in this season? In the context of this challenge, 20K by Christmas. Great. That's your goal. Now you want to do the math. We did that yesterday. You want to do your offer math. What and how many times do you need to sell in order to hit that goal? So let's say if your offer is 20,000, you need to sell one of those. If your offer is 10,000, you need to sell two of those. If your offer is 5,000, you need to sell four of those. You get the idea. How many and of what do you need to sell in order to hit your goal? Then, based on your prior lived experience, make an estimate of approximately, roughly, how many conversations do you need to have in order to make that many sales? If you have no idea on what your conversion number is, you want to find that out. But if you have no idea, take a wild guess. Take a guess. Okay, I'm just gonna guess that half of the people I talk to are gonna say yes. I'm gonna be super conservative and super realistic, and I'm gonna guess that a quarter of the people are gonna say yes. So that's 25% of people are gonna say yes. So if you need one sale, you need to talk to 4 people. Now you know what your goal is each day, each week, each month. You need to have 4 conversations, because based on your estimate, if you have 4 conversations, you're gonna have 1 sale. So figure out your number of conversations that you need to have in order to make the number of sales that you need in this season. Then before you jump into action and before you start doing all the things, because we humans like to do all the things, right? But action is kind of like the most important part and also the least important part, right? Before you take action, you want to be energetically on board with the action that you're taking. You want to energetically calibrate yourself to the thing that you're doing. So in your playbook, you will see the questions that I want you to ask yourself. The first, a super open-ended one, but ask yourself, how can I make it easy for money to find me? How can I make it easy for money to find me? And just ideate, brainstorm. How can I make it easy for money to find me? Write down some ideas. From there, once you have your initial list of ideas, ask yourself, how can I make it easy for people to find me? If you're the best kept secret on the internet, why? How can you make it easy for people to discover you, to trust you, and to ultimately pay you? Then you want to ask yourself, are there perhaps any tools, systems, and or habits that would make sales inevitable this month, this week, today? And you want to write down your idea. From there, you want to outline your daily flow. You've got your channels, you understand the flow that every sales go through. Now you want to do your part. What channels are you going to work? How are you going to work them? And most importantly, why you're going to work them. And then last but not least, you want to celebrate in advance. We started the challenge by saying, if I was absolutely certain that I could hit my goal, what would I do today? If you're going to keep doing those things and you're going to keep doing that exercise, you're going to hit your goal. So you want to make sure that you have a celebration in place, that you expect yourself to hit that goal. And because you expect yourself to hit that goal, you're going to celebrate. So whether you're going to take yourself to a spa, you're going to take yourself shopping, you're going to go have a nice meal with your partner, you're going to buy yourself something symbolic to signify this moment, whatever you want to do to celebrate ahead of time, I need you to decide what that's going to be. And I need you to go ahead and make plans now. Put it on your calendar, make the reservation, go book the thing, go pick the thing out so that you are looking forward to the reward for who you're going to become in this process. So, one thing I forgot to mention, when I asked myself these questions, I had some pretty genius ideas, if I may say so myself. And those genius ideas had to do with leveraging more tools. So I included my 3 latest favorite tools in the playbook, and I'm going to briefly walk you through them so that if you want to take advantage, you can click the link in the playbook. And yes, it is an affiliate link, full transparency disclaimer, right? It's my affiliate link. So if you end up using the tool, it's a win-win for both of us. The first tool is called the Script. It's an AI-based editing tool that I use that allows you to take any sort of long form content and edit it super fast. So you can turn one long form piece of content into however many short bite-sized pieces of content without doing any extra work. So that's the first one, super easy to use, going to give you so much of your time back, but simultaneously allow you to take your work further. The second tool is called MiniChat, right? So MiniChat on my behalf now automatically sends a welcome message to every single follower. So every time I get a new follower, they get a message, which means what? Connection has been established. Now I'm in conversation. So I can find out who they are, I can see how I can best support them. It's also an automated tool that I use to send out all the links, resources, stuff like that, again, without adding extra work to my plate, aka your plate either. And then the last tool is one of my recent favorites. It's called Repurpose.io, which essentially allows me to repurpose all of my content across all of the platforms in just literally one click. So all of my content that's going out on Instagram is also going out on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. You can share it to LinkedIn, Snapchat, Threads, all the social media platforms. Like it takes 3 seconds to set up, but instead of now being just on one platform, you are on all the platforms without doing any extra work. And if you can make yourself available on all platforms, doesn't that mean that now you have a wider reach, you have a wider audience, more people are finding you, you're making it simple and easy for people to find you? 2 seconds to set up, super easy, right? Again, all of that is in the playbook, go check it out. Tomorrow is our final day of the challenge. I'm so excited. I have something really, really special planned for us. We're going to bring it all together and then we're going to finish it up on a super high note, put a beautiful cherry on top of this entire experience this week. In the meantime, if you have any questions, if you would like me to clarify anything, please, I'm here and I'm available. Send me a message. Otherwise, I'm so looking forward to hearing your insights, reflections, breakthroughs, decisions, and I am holding the vision of your 20K by Christmas with a lot of ease, with a lot of win-win relationships, with a lot of new opportunities, new expansion coming into your life. And I'm so excited for all the people that you are going to bless in this process. I love you all. Thank you so much for giving me your time and attention. Please, please, please share your feedback. It means a lot. And I will see you all back tomorrow for our final day 5, part 5. Now go be your fabulous self, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, darlings.